I'm live. Hello. At least it says I'm live. I can't see anything. What's going on? Is it working? Ah, there we go. YouTube's a bit slow sometimes. Yippee, it's Louis Gleamfold time. Hey, Fluer. Hey, Idle Star Astronomer. That's a cool name. Hey, Quick33. And Sinner. Hello, hello. How are we doing, folks? So I'm trying to stream in the morning. It's only just the morning. It's 11:30 here. But I think I'd try a different time of day. In part because Isaac was like, you always stream it just before midnight in Australia time. So, okay, yeah. Got to be nice to the Gleamers down under. What do we want to do today? So I think I want to do a bit of... So we don't have a full-on markdown parser. Hello, T. Good morning from the USA, or food morning, as you've said. Good morning. We don't have a full-on markdown parser. We can use the one that's written in Elixir. We can use one that's written in Erlang, but the Erlang one doesn't actually do the whole spec. And I don't know if you've looked at the common mark spec. It is wild. It's absolutely bonkers. Yeah, it's just super... Oh! Gosh, hello, what was that? Thank you for the follow, PZ00. So, it's super complicated and really hard to implement, really hard to understand, which is, not tremendous amounts of fun. But if you... Oh, I know what this is. This is because OBS crashed just before I went live, so all my things aren't showing up. So which one's this meant to be? This is meant to be Safari. Which is... There we go. And, this is meant to be an editor. Let's get that working. There we go. Oh, that's far too small. Let's make that bigger. I've increased my font size a little, folks, so hopefully that will be nicer for you. I realised... Oh, what just happened there? I realised I wasn't using the other half of the screen very much. I figured I'd make the text bigger, maybe that'd be easier. Hello! Hello, Jack. We're streaming in the morning, just about. Or not, it's not the morning anymore in Italy, is it? Is that true? Jack always shows off beautiful... Oh! Scaverno, thank you so much for the follow. Jack always posts these really beautiful, coffees and pastries and cakes and things in the Gleam Discord. And I'm showing a beautiful British drink instead. Ooh, Iron Brew. The least natural drink in the world. Tastes like caffeine and additives. It doesn't even taste that good anymore. They got rid of all the sugar. It used to have a horrendous amount of sugar in it. And then everyone decided that was probably a bad idea. Good. Anyway, so I was moaning about Markdown. So the Markdown spec is horrendous. And there's a chap, one of the chaps who worked on the common mark spec, which is the most widely used Markdown specification, made an alternative markup language, which is... Oh. Really? If I would just do HTTP. What's going on here? Is this the wrong website? This is the right website. What was wrong there? Oh, I don't know. Something happened there. Anyway. So, is this secure now? Oh, I'm not sure what just happened there. Did anyone spot what happened? I'm a bit nervous. Also, I want to be slightly over to the side. Which way? So it should be pointing more... This way? No, the other way. There we go. Good. So, I think it's sort of like in a response to how complicated Markdown is, or Common Mark is. He designed a Markdown-like language. It's pretty much the same, called djot, but with a few little differences that make it much easier to, comprehend and to parse. Gonna find it looks like basically the same thing. It's pretty nice, and you can. So I think Markdown you need to like infinite backtracking, all sorts of horrible things. But in Common Mark you can just go across it fairly easily. So I've got an incomplete parser for it. Oops. That I've been working on and off forever, and I just want to add another feature to it. I think inline code is probably the one to go for now. Like little backticks in a paragraph kind of thing. And the nice thing about it is that there's a reference implementation in TypeScript or JavaScript or something. So we can just copy that and, well, we can just copy it. or rather, we can't copy the implementation so much because it's just implemented with a big blob of not macros. I'm so used to saying macros are the problem. It's implemented with a big blob of regexes, which isn't particularly suited to, I think, functional programming in general, but like specifically languages that don't have a literal syntax for regular expressions. We just want to use like iterative parsers instead. Strange2x says, "Hey Louis, how you doing? I tried Gleam today. Nice work. Thank you so much. Thank you for trying Gleam." So, what I did copy from them though, not the implementation, was the tests. Here's the tests. So let's go to, where am I? Am I in the right place? What directory is this? No, because my editor crashed, my OBS crashed and my whole desktop environment died. So if you go over to tests, I've got these folders, cases and cases implemented, and the actual singular test is just load all of the test cases from the cases directory and then just make assertions about each one of them. And the tests look like, where's code? Oh, I don't want code blocks, I want inline code. Where's that? Gosh, why can't I see it? Who can see it? What would it be under? What is going on here? Why can't I spot it? Huh? Oh, okay, so here's some code, verbatim. Okay. Is this the right bit? Some code with a line break. Special characters. Oh, I see. It's because it's meant to turn off. It's called verbatim because it turns off parsing. Blimey, look at this. Gosh, that is hard to understand. What is being tested here? Anyway, so the idea of the tests are, you've got a code block, and then it's split with a dot. So this is the input and this is the output, and then you can just like parse this file format fairly easily, and it supports comments as well, which are just like text outside of any particular test. Good. So let's go over to here. I'm copying this because I don't. Oh, damn. Cases unimplemented. Put that into cases. And just grab those two tests. So delete them from the unimplemented ones. I think that's the two. Yes, good. Oh gosh! Oh, Strange2x, thank you so much for subbing. Oh, thank you, that's so kind. Thank you so much. Cool, so you can see now we've got this test failure. It's expected to pass to something, but backticks currently doesn't do anything. Anything at all. Okay. Okay. How does this work then? Whoops. I've opened another thing. Thanks for the follow, telling me not. To do, collapse adjacent text node. Okay. So, if I remember correctly, code will be an inline. It's good to see talented developers like you coming up with awesome solutions, and I'm just doing my part to support you. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, dude. Super cool. Yo! Hello. Mako, it's good to see you again. Good, so I've added this code. 1. Now I'm going to get some type errors, I'm sure. Good. Any sort of patterns, we do not have a pattern for code. So I guess if it's code, we can do the same thing with text. We just treat it as verbatim. Gosh, I'm forgetting how my editor works. Which one? Not my editor, my keyboard. Which key? I've got a keyboard with not many keys on it, and I just occasionally forget where everything is. There we go. I thought that was what I was pressing. I think my fingers must be in the wrong place, as per usual. So, what are we doing now? Ah, we're printing stuff. So, inline to HTML. In this case, expression doesn't have a pattern with all possible values. If it's run on one of the values without a pattern, it will crash. Good, good, good. So, let's add that. So, what do we do? We've got HTML, and then we want to open a tag. And then we can just, what is HTML? It's just a string. So we can just do string.append the content. And then we can close the tag. And there's no attributes on that tag. Oh. It's a dict, it's not a list. Hello, Haley. Haley says that she loves me. Amazing. I find that deeply suspicious. I'm sure I'm profoundly annoying to work with. Haley's very, very tolerant. How are things in Bath, Haley? Second best city in England after Swindon, of course. Things are great. Things are beautiful here in London. It's a really lovely day. So naturally, I'm spending it inside. It's really nice. I should go somewhere. I don't know where though. That's why I'm like nice clear light on this side and like yellow light on this side. Okay, cool. So it type checks again. Presumably the printing works. I don't know. I don't have a test for that. But we don't parse it yet. Okay. Hello from the other side of the world. Brackets. New Zealand. New Zealand's a cool place. I want to learn how to. There's the like traditional name, like the proper name for New Zealand, isn't there? Before the English got there, I would need to learn how to pronounce that. It's a cool looking word, and then I look at it and go, oh, I don't know how to say it. It's got vowels in places where I'm not used to. It's like trying to say anything in Irish. I just sort of go, not quite brave enough. Let's pass some stuff inline. I think the function is going to be called inline. Pass inline, that sounds good. And emphasis on strong, link. Cool, so let's add a new one called code. And then we're going to do pass code. Oh no, it's not, it's a backtick. It's not a star. Why did I put a star? Some link, no, code. Where does this text come from? Oh, that's the text that was already, excuse me, that had already been passed up to this point. So let's find parse emphasis and copy that one. But we don't need a specific, we don't need a different close. And we can just say, we can put an accumulator on it. So we just collect content from the very start. Code. Marvelous. So how does this take Charles cat thing work? So if it's a backtick, we're done. Like that. And then anything else, we continue iterating. Is it? What's it complaining about? Expected, oh, option inline. Oh, yes. I never returned the remainder of the inputs. It's not going to be a list, it's going to be just a singular inline. Oh, see, that was easy. This parsing nonsense is trivial. Hey, Shovigosh. 2048. Hello. It's one test that iterates across many test cases. I showed it a second ago, but I'll show you. Here's my singular test, and it loads all of the test feature files, and then for each one it just iterates over it. One too many, exactly. Jack is completely right. But there's all these, there's loads of files full of like literal tests. Nice. Verbatim. So let's grab, I mean, ideally the tests tooling would be smart enough to know to actually split those into tests as it understands, but it's not a thing that I could use. What is it called? There's a library that Ben made called test. Oh, was it Builder? Oh, there we go. Yeah, Test Builder. So I think this can be used to do the same thing. There you go. Yeah, that's cool. I should probably use this, but I always just write the code. I'm not much of a dependency person. Chugging coffee followed me. Oh, and I'm not chugging coffee this time. I'm normally chugging coffee, but I've got a suitable alternative, much healthier caffeinated drink. Oh, my hip's hurting a bit. I sit at a standing desk. No, that doesn't make sense. I stand. Oh my gosh, that was very loud. Thank you so much, Idle Star Astronomer. Thank you for the sub. Much appreciated. I'll allow it this time, but next time I expect to see coffee. Okay. Yes, boss. Right away. Yes, chef. Haley says piss. Haley, I think you should see a doctor. Or drink more water at the very least. Come on. Dear. I'm never going to get sponsored, am I? Audible.com. I would love to be sponsored. I will shell out hard. Is that that's all of the tests? That's all of the tests? What? That's everything? Wow, inline code is easy, huh? That passes. That is, yeah, and there's one more dot. Yes, good, I can see. Easy. So, oh, thank you so much, Haley. That's very embarrassing of me. I do that at least once. We're really enjoying the test builder readme. Yeah, I do that at least once per stream, so I'm glad I got it out of the way early. I'm just shocked there's so few tests for inline code. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, so what are the rules here? So this one passes. This one doesn't, and the reason for that is, oh wow. Okay, so I need to start handling things overlapping. You're coding and you're watching me code. Good, this is cool. It's like we've got a remote office. We're all coding alongside each other. I miss that. I do miss having like a little office. You just sit with your mates and, you know, program and, you know, wheel your chair over to your friend's desk and go, oh, how do you want to do that? I've got this problem. And then you talk it through and you have fun. Write on a whiteboard and go for a long lunch. Oh, it's the best. Being a developer is a cool job. Beats having a real job. So long as the company's nice. I suppose that's true of any job, really. So what have I done here? I've passed the... I need the backticks to override the emphasis. The strong, rather. Okay. How am I going to do that? So... Oh, that's really annoying. What's it meant to do? So if there wasn't this closing one, what would it do? Okay, I think what it wants to do is... so where... Take emphasis Charles. Oh, no. Oh, no, it's got way more complicated. Oh, no. Okay. This is annoying. Okay, so I've structured it in such a way where it tries to when you pass each thing, so we say we want to pass some emphasis, a strong tag, for example. And it starts by taking all the characters that would be the content of it, and then once it has all those characters, then it iterates through them and then like calculates it takes the characters and then it constructs the AST for all the things in the middle. So if you have like nested strong tags or like a link inside a strong tag rather, then it works that way. However, I now need to interrupt this taking of characters to say, oh, actually, there might be a code in here. And it gets complicated because, oops, I think that should do that. However, if I remove this quote, I think it should be strong. I think it should be that, I think. Let's go verify. So there's a playground on... There's an online editor thingy. Sandbox, here we go. Oh. Oh. Oh, oh, okay, that's so much easier. Okay, that's trivial. No problem. So how do you put a quote in it? You escape it or something? Yeah. Okay, I take it all back. I'm not worried. This is super easy. That's super easy. Good. So, in fact, that means I can even simplify the. That means I can simplify the. I call it code. Should I call it verbatim like it does in? Let's go back here and see what they call it in their AST. Verbatim. Okay. Off topic, but I'm thinking of adding support for OS command execution, e.g. run ffmpeg. I'd have to FFI on Erlang and Node for it, as far as I know. So would it be silly to make this? Would it be silly to add this to the standard library? It would reduce portability. Not that you would have a function like that in web.js or anything. Yeah, so that's it. You can't have anything in the standard library that can't run everywhere. So if you can't run it in a browser, you can't have it. There is a package for this called Shellout, which is pretty good. So that's the one most people use. I personally think that large standard libraries that do loads of things are actually a bad idea. I think the reason they exist and the reason why they have historically been really valuable is that package management didn't exist. So when Python was made, you didn't have any good way of getting packages. I mean, I now argue you still don't really have good ways of getting Python packages because pip is not a very good package manager. But you couldn't do it at all. So if you knew that you could install your programming language and then you would just have XML parsers and HTML parsers and you know all these different things that do all sorts of stuff, that would be cool. And you didn't mind so much that, you know, maybe they weren't tremendously good and they'll be really hard to upgrade because everything depends upon it, and you know all these quirks that you get with them, you don't mind because you're just happy that you've got them. But then when Package Manager comes along, I don't want to have a standard library full of stuff that isn't very good, and everyone says, oh, there's one of those in the standard library, but really you should use this package because it's better. You know, loads of things in the Python standard library, for example, have just bit rot away. You know, they're not good, or they've got some misleading or confusing behavior which they can't fix because they need to have backwards compatibility. For example, their XML parser just isn't an XML parser. It parses some, you know, non-standard XML format that works in the simple cases, but it's quite slow, and you're going to get different results if you use a proper XML parser. Nicola, hello. Welcome. You've got a little 2023 next to your name. What does that mean? So yeah, in the modern world, we have package managers, so you just want to be able to pick the highest quality thing. And that's the reason why there's quite a lot of things inside. Another advantage of it is that you don't have to wait for a release of the language to fix something. You know, if say Gleam came with a database just built into the standard library, if you wanted to upgrade the database, you need to upgrade your language at the same time. That's really annoying. And you know, one can block the other. And that's the situation with Erlang. We've got this database in the standard library called Manisha, and it frankly shouldn't be there, I think. I would love to see it extracted and put into a hex package. And all the projects can just include it, you know. Easy peasy. You know, let's get all the strange things out of the standard library. The fact we had like a full, like this big distributed database, which is arguably not great in the standard library, but we've only just got a JSON parser, is absolutely wild to me. Absolutely wild. Anyway, there's my little rant about standard libraries being bad. Good. So we've worked out that we can simplify the code. I don't really like the name. What do we think of the name verbatim? I didn't like it very much. I prefer code, but like maybe that's silly of me. Parse code. So this always returns something, right? Oh, Flamey Dev, thank you so much for the follow. I've seen you say many issues in the Discord. Give you a good example of problems with it. For sure. Are you familiar with CAP theorem? The idea that there are three properties you can have in a distributed system. That being consistency, availability, and partition tolerance. And and I'm not an expert in this area, but I'll stumble through it. The idea is that you cannot have all three. It's impossible. So you've got them, and partition tolerance is picked. No, is that right? Yes, partition tolerance is picked for you because partitions will happen, and you've got to make sure that your system continues working, and you've got to decide in which way is it going to degrade. Do you, are you going to be not available, or are you going to be not consistent? Which one of those two things? Mnesia tries to do. Of the three, it tries to pick availability and partition tolerance. No, sorry, availability and consistency, and not partition tolerance. Which means when there's a partition in your network, the database just dies. It all goes horrifically wrong, and then you've got to like do a bunch of manual work to resolve it. And there are some sort of like not very documented APIs that you've got to work with to do that. It's just a huge headache. And it's just like, in terms of just like a database to use, it's just not very nice or good. Like it's just a very old-fashioned, not particularly good database built on, old theory. We can do so much better now. But the fact that I think the only reason people use it is that it's there in the standard library. In fact, people don't even really use it very much. The big users of it I can think of are all been writing their own replacements or have replaced it with something else by then. What does when your network partition means? When you have network problems, which means that two computers, so your database is made up of a series of computers that talk to each other over a network. When you have network problems, so your servers can no longer talk to each other, or they can talk to each other but it's a lot slower, or messages get sent, or individual messages get dropped, or messages get sent multiple times, or they arrive out of order. Like if any of these problems happen, how does your database deal with it? So like that's the real hard bit of writing a clustered database, is that you've got to deal with all this like really complicated distributed system stuff. Mnesia just doesn't. It just sort of goes, no, that's never going to happen. And then when it does, which it does, things go horribly wrong. I lost a third of all writes to a cluster. But for 2 weeks, there was my cluster was in a partition state, and in trying to repair it, we followed the manual, and the steps that it told us to do resulted in the cluster dropping a third of all writes for the 2-week period. So we just lost an absolute ton of data, and there's nothing we could do about it. Now, arguably, we made a mistake. We did make a mistake. However, I just don't think a database where it's trivial to accidentally delete a massive chunk of data from the last 2 weeks is a good thing. It shouldn't do that ever. It sucked. It really sucked. But you've also got ETS and TCS. Yep, they're much less databases than Mnesia is. Do you think it's worthwhile learning Erlang now? If so, do you know a book? I know you're a book person. What book is worth learning? I think Erlang is a really good and fun language. Well worth learning. If nothing else, I think learning Erlang is one of those languages like learning Haskell or something, for example, where you may never really write any, but I think the ideas you pick up from learning the language will be applicable to all of your other code. You'll think a lot. I think they have a lot of interesting opinions around error handling and fault tolerance and concurrency that you can apply to lots of other things. As for a book, did I get it out? Now, the book is pretty big. There's a few chapters you can skip in this, and a few chapters that should be added, really. But Fred's absolutely wonderful. Learn you some Erlang for great good with the Erlang squid on it. It's a really good read. It is chunky. It has loads of great, if slightly questionable, illustrations. Can I get this on the camera? There we go. And the first half of the book is Erlang, which is about simple functional programming. Simple untyped functional programming. It's a really good intro to FP, really, I think. And then it's all very strange. What's going on here, Fred? Explain yourself. And then the second half of the book is all about OTP, the actor system, and fault tolerance and things. I think you can skip the chapters on... Oh, I've written my name in the front of this book. That's funny. I think I was taking this to offices very often. I was worried about losing it. I think you can skip the sections on... Gosh, there's an awful lot of things. There's a chapter called Rage Against the Finite State Machine, so that's grand. You can skip the stuff about releases... Gen events, Minis. There's a whole chapter on Amnesia, which, yeah, you probably skip the common test stuff, Amnesia, Dialyzer. Could really do an update, I think. I can't actually reach that part of my bookshelf, so I'm going to have to just leave it. And after that, there's another one called Designing for Scalability with Erlang/OTP. That is a fantastic book about scaling systems in general. You should read that. We once deleted a whole bank partition and failed for a third of the country. Oh, ouch. Ouch, 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 ouch. I'm glad that ours wasn't financial. It was like reviews and stuff. So I don't think the customers didn't know. Thankfully, it wasn't the end of the business, but it hurt. The engineering team took a real hit. Our reputation did in the company. So yeah, really good book, that. Really recommend it. A lot of the Elixir books are pretty good as well. Elixir in Action's really good. And Elixir and Erlang are very similar languages in a lot of ways. A database that tells you its user in production should not be able to have a fault like that? Yep. I think that the tech is all about having... make it as hard as possible to misuse, because you're not going to be an expert. Not when you start, at least. So we can change this code here, because it looks like it always passes something. So let's do that, and then okay. So this none never happens. Boom. Oh, now I'm getting a different error. Oh, because I pass. Do you think there's much to be gained from learning Erlang if Elixir is there as an alternative, which you might conceivably use at work? I think that Elixirverse, I think if you learn one, you're going to have a big step up on the other. I think an advantage of learning Erlang is that you're more likely to focus, you're more likely to learn. I think in Elixir, it's easy to spend your time learning frameworks that are written in Elixir. So you can easily spend a lot of time learning Phoenix and LiveView and Ash and Ecto and not spend as much time actually learning about like nuts and bolts function programming and about actor systems and fault tolerance and building systems. I think that the Elixir folks do a really good job of giving you all these like higher level abstractions for you to make real things, but they remove a lot of that need to learn the building blocks that we used to make them with. And there's the whole macro system that you can learn, and you know, you can spend your time learning about macros, which is also really useful. Erlang programmers tend to be a lot more minimalist, I think. They have an attitude of having libraries that do specific things, and then you write programs that piece them all together. So, you know, plugging things together rather than Elixir. It seems like a pattern is much more often you have a thing that you sit within, and then you pull things into it. You know, so Phoenix dictates the shape of your application, Ash dictates the shape of your application, Oban dictates the shape of your application. You know, all these things take care of that stuff for you. So I think there is value, and also it might just be a matter of preference. If you like, you know, you might just might like one more than the other. I think if you learn Elixir, you'll be in a great place to get an Erlang job. If you learn Erlang, you'll be in a great place to get an Elixir job. They're both really good. So what have I done wrong? Oh, I see. So when I'm parsing, this is a parse emphasis. Take the chars. Now I need to say if it is a backtick, return none. Nice. Very good. Would be able to do a stream where you demonstrate like microservices using Gleam. What would you want me to demonstrate in that case? Because I feel all the stuff about microservices is not really specific to any language. Like, you just make web apps and then you design protocols, and all the thought goes into the protocols and the deployment and the versioning and you know, tracing and all this stuff. And it's kind of language agnostic. Maybe I might be glossing over some things in my mind which you would want to think about. So yeah, let me know what specific things about microservices you might be interested in seeing. The other side of it is I'm very much in team monolith. I think monoliths are great. More monoliths. Oh no. Oh no. Oh dear. How on earth is this gonna work? Oh no. Why is it parsing it as a pre? Oh no. Something like AMQP-lib connection between microservices using RabbitMQ. Okay. Oh, so like a stream on how to use like an event broker, or you know, like Lynn Fever, thank you for the follow. A stream on how to do event processing stuff. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, it would be a stream on how to use a particular library, pretty much. WaveS, thank you so much. I'm not super familiar with any of them. Let's have a look and see what we've got in. Yeah. So what, like is it QP or was it PQ? I always forget which way around it is. Oh gosh, what was that loud noise? Lynn Fever subscribed. Thank you so much. Thank you. Gosh, it is very loud, that. It just comes out my speakers, so I presume you can hear it as well. I haven't worked out how to hook up the audio from the alerts thing actually into the stream you do. So it's QP, right? So there's nothing for that, but maybe there's something for rabbits. No. Kafka? No. Do we really have no libraries at all for this event sourcing thing? I wonder what that connects to. Sorry for the scare. Keeps me on my toes. Oh, it's interesting. It's TCP server. That's not what I thought it was going to be. So I guess we would need to start by like wrapping, like picking an Erlang library and designing an API and wrapping it and stuff. I don't know. I don't know tremendous amounts about that stuff. If someone makes a library for it and it's suitably mature, it could be a fun thing for us to play around with on stream, but it's not something that I would like go out my way to try and make, in part because I think it's a relatively large project and I think you want to have some particular vested interest in it. So I would want to, if I was going to make it, I'd want it to be because I am a user of this technology and I want to go for it. Nimble Parsec. What about Nimble Parsec? Mizerone? Terminal. Oh, hello. So I haven't programmed the bang terminal thing. What would you like to happen when you type bang terminal? Because I can set that up now. I figured it out. I'm finding crumbs in my pocket. What on earth? What did I have in my pocket? Ugh, like bits of biscuit or something. Let me just put this in the bin really quickly. So we've got a bug. Let me make. What do you want to do? Which terminal emulator am I using? I'm using iTerm2. No particular reason other than I've used it for a long time and like many years, like a decade or something, and it supports ligatures. Well, a decade when I'm on macOS. Historically I've not always been on macOS, but. Personally, I'd like $100 to get my bank account after I type bang terminal. But if that's not possible, maybe which terminal emulator to use and what theme I'm using. I don't know what theme it is. However, let's actually go to the terminal. I can tell you that this is Dusk Fox. Or let's actually open something we can see. This is Dusk Fox. I'm going to set that up right now. How do I do the Nightbot commands, custom, add command, terminal, item 2, neovim plus Dusk Fox. Boom. Now I think it works. Nimble Parsec. Yeah, so I'm familiar with Nimble Parsec being a Elixir parsing combinator library, but what about it? Let me test this now. Does it work? Terminal. There we go. Thank you, Nightbot. So there's a bug, and the bug is we shouldn't pass 5 backticks as a code block. How does that work then? Gosh, that's way too difficult to read that. So what is it? Huh. I don't understand quite what's happening there. Why? I wish they'd given us a simpler test case, because like I just wrapping my head around how this is supposed to pass is making my brain ache. Let's put this in the editor. The playground, rather. That's the wrong thing. In the playground, rather. Wherever it is. Not that one. Not that one. This one. Why is it that, though? I could delete a bunch of stuff, right? What? What? I don't understand this. Like, what is it? I'm gonna have to read the spec, aren't I? Syntax description. It's not really a spec. Beta, right. I can see many open source projects changing license, and Gleam being one of the predominant languages in recreation of these services. Yeah, come on, more things go business source license, and then we just re-implement it in Gleam. Okay. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Look at this. Okay. Verbatim begins with a string of consecutive backtick characters. Oh, wow. And ends with equal length string of backtick characters. That's really interesting. I didn't know that. Okay. I'm suddenly understanding it more. I'm not understanding how that interacts with block. Oh no, okay. So it where is the playground again? Okay. So right, okay. So if when I'm passing a block I discover that it has backticks on the same code block, that's a code block. So if I discover that it has backticks in the same line, then it's not a code block, it's verbatim text. Okay. Oh, it's inline code rather. Okay. Interesting. So it's weird that they didn't have a test case for that. It is weird they didn't have a test case for that. So let's move that test that is really complicated out of here and back into here. I'll put it at the top actually. There we go. And let's have a test for... Wait, is the... How did... Oh, look, you can put more. You just put more. We've already done roughly. I must have implemented something very similar to this for like the number of backticks mattering, because it's used in the tests as well. Okay. So if it's 2 ticks and then hello, that should be code hello. Oh, but it's got to be inside a paragraph, right? Oh. Whoa, that's really wrong. Okay. That's really wrong. Let's try and work out what's going on there. So let's look for code block. Code block. Pass code block. Wow, I've only said 2 for some reason. Okay. Oh, no, there's an or there. That's not one then the other. It's just one. Okay, I'm a fool. So let's look at how this is implemented. Parse code block starts. Really? Have I got a bug here? That's passing as a code block, but here I think I'm saying the count needs to be greater than equal. Oh no, that's a new line. Never mind. And here we're saying we're saying here that count should be greater or equal to 3, but is it? Let's import that. Three. It is 3. How did it get to 3? What? What? It starts at 1. So it starts at 1 in parse code block. let's print both of these things. Okay. In. After someone brought up the division by 0 equaling 0 thing in the Discord, I took it to my completely non-programmer maths nerd friend, and he landed on the solution of invent a new number that is only used in that equation. Isn't that what nan is? Oh, look. That's interesting. So, how did it get 2? How did it get 2 backticks at the start? Let's find where this is used. Hey? What's into here? Oh. Okay, my watch is vibrating. So, tick tick, new line, tick tick. Hello, tick tick. Huh? Oh, okay. Oh, I've done something wrong here. My test is wrong in some fashion. So this is the test in verbatim. Oh, look. Oh yeah, that's when I was talking about how what the format for the test thing was, and I just broke it. Okay, that makes way more sense. Code. Good. Phew, I was like, oh no, everything's horribly broken. How could this possibly be working this way? No, I'm just an idiot. And can't be trusted to talk while I'm doing this. That's so funny. Right, so let's find where we pass. What's it called? Pass thingies. thingy, parse code. Not code block, just regular code. 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 There we go. So we need to be a bit cleverer. And we need to start with, okay. So we need to pass in, we need to track how many backticks there are. So let's start with that. So, count as not 1, it's an int. So how do we need it to work? We need to iterate across the code. And if it sees another backtick, we keep slurping that up. Last code, get count. If we see something else, we move on to parsing code contents. Nice, okay. And we should have an accumulator, which is a string. Nice. So, if we reach the end, let's not call it accumulator though, let's call it content, that's a bit clearer. So, if we reach the end of the string, well then we just output the code. If we see a backtick, excuse me, if we see a backtick, we need to do something. So we could say maybe pass code end with count -1. Let's give it the content as well. And the two cases are, well, it might not have been the end. What are the, do I have like a either type here? Either, no. Let's make a new type for it. So type passed code code end. Code end, in which case you return some contents, which is a string, and the remaining inputs, which is Charles. Or you might return not code end. Oh, it's the same thing. Okay. So let's done content in. Oh, Wayne, thank you very much for the follow. Did you mean passcode? No, I did not. So we say case if done, then we're going to remit code content of it. If we're not done though, we're going to keep parsing. Unknown variable passcode. Can I ask what Gleam is? I'm a JavaScript developer. Yeah, for sure. Gleam is a relatively new, as in it was reached version 1 about 2 months ago, I think. Functional programming language. It's very simple. It's all about getting stuff done. It has types, really good type system. The kind where, rather than being about enabling you to do really flexible, clever things like you might find in TypeScript or Haskell, it's about helping you as much as possible, being like simple and getting out of your way. Excuse me. Similar to, I think it has a lot of things in common with languages like Elm or Go or maybe OCaml or Lua, where it's just this small language that is hopefully fun to write, and you can get on with making stuff. It's lovely, and the where's my mouse? There's my mouse. And the website is great. It's got a little pink star called Lucy. It's good. You should check it out. I recommend it. It's very nice. I was going to ask, is it anything like Go? I like to think of it as like a functional Go. Functional programming Go. Kind of like the intro about Gleam I gave to my coworker. He was like, "What is Erlang?" It was a nice 3 hours. Yeah, that's an important thing to say about Gleam. It runs. It can compile to JavaScript, but it also runs on the Erlang virtual machine, and the Erlang virtual machine is really good. Really, really, really cool system. So gosh, I'm coughing a lot, folks. I think maybe I think it might be slightly, I don't know. Maybe this very natural looking liquid is not good for you. Dying. Cool. So what are we supposed to be returning here? We're just returning a string and gosh, what an unclear type. I probably shouldn't return that, but this is my code, so I can do whatever I want. Don't do this at home, kids. Oh dear. Postcard and type errors everywhere. Oh gosh. Diego D'Angelo, thank you so much. Yes, I live in London. I live in northwest London, in Camden. It's pretty cool. I like it. Excuse me. So, in this case, we're done, and we return the content and the remaining inputs. But if we reach if we're not at 1 yet, then we continue iterating. Pass code, and oh no, this is no, I've done this wrong. Good. I'll finish writing this, and then I'll figure out how it's wrong, and I'll fix it. So then we return. Then we continue iterating. With the inputs, the count -1, and then the existing contents. But we don't have a way of handling the case where you see like a backtick and then you undo it. Don't feel creepy that I know stuff about you, Louis. I'm up north in England. Nice. Camden, you must be rich. I mean, I live in a small flat, you know. Camden's a very big borough, actually. I don't live in Camden Town. Ivan, thank you for the follow. I mean, London wages are better than wages in the rest of the country, but then everything in London is very expensive. So, you know, I think it works out about being the same. I mean, I don't have any particular good reason professionally or financially to be in London anymore. Like, I work for myself remotely with people from all over the country. I mean, arguably, there's more reason for me to be in Bath, because then I could hang out with Hayley, than there is for me to be in London. But I like London. It's my home. I'm from India, and everything's cheap compared to London. I do not doubt that. I'm sure that is very true. Camden Town area, yeah. I find it strange that people live in Camden Town. Like, it's so noisy. Coming to India, that's a long way. I don't think I can cycle that far. So we need to say what have we got here? Passcode, and in this case we just append the content. Hi Louis, how long have you been working on Gleam? Let's find out. How long have I been working on Gleam? About that long. Quite a long time. Quite a long time. Development really kicked off halfway through 2018. So it's been what, like 6 years of solid work. It takes a long time to make a language. Are you using Gleam at work? So I'm the person who invented Gleam. So yes, working on Gleam is my full-time job. And I can do that because I have I've got a GitHub sponsors. Oh, I didn't do what I thought it would do. How do I go to this? How do I go to the sponsors thing? Do I click here? Yeah, so if you want to support me, like these 262 really cool people, I think some of them are businesses, but you know, sign up and help me make Gleam. What took most of the time? I mean, there's just so many big things in a language, right? You got to make a compiler, you got to make the parser, static analyzer, type checker, code gen, build tooling, package management, errors, warnings. You know, there's just command line interfaces. There's just so many things in a language. Got a language server now. That's the language server is going to take a long time. Hold on a sec, you invented Gleam? I did. That's a cool thing to do. Thank you. Thank you. So it takes there's just so many things, you know. It's a series of fairly meaty projects. So I think this is wrong, what I've done here. I think maybe what we want to, passcode end. Oh, no, I'm wrong. I'm not wrong. I was correct the first time because no. No. This is the bit I've done wrong. So if we see a different character, we're done, or rather we exit this loop. But we're saying, oh, you haven't actually reached the end because they were just some backticks. So then we need to append. We don't care about the what's the string? The string is the count. Okay, so we need to take the content rather. Take the content, and then we append to that string.repeat. Oh no, it doesn't work. Oh, rubbish. Okay, how are we gonna do this? I need to track somewhere how many characters. Oh, I should. It's annoying. I need an extra accumulator. Hey there, what's up? I'm just we're parsing some djot, which is like markdown but less silly. It's the person one of the people who made the common mark spec wasn't entirely happy with how markdown works and wanted to make something that is a lot easier to work with, like a lot easier to understand and to be able to parse. And so they made something called djot, which is really lovely. And I've just been slowly adding more features to my djot parser over ages. I don't do very much work on it. And we're adding inline code this time. And I've reached a little awkward place where I need to just do it, but I keep just talking to people in chat instead, which is more fun. Do you have a JetBrains IDE? My company is all JetBrains. No, I use NeoVim. I'm not sure JetBrains has any support for Gleam. I quite like to use open source things. I don't like to make proprietary things a huge. I don't like to make proprietary things that are hard to replace a big part of my personal workflow. Because I don't trust that companies won't just like change things. I've been bitten by that too many times before, which is really annoying. LSP should support it, right? I think the LSP is like a. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not gonna say anything because I don't actually know how JetBrains stuff works really. Somebody's made a Gleam plugin for JetBrains. I assume it uses the language server. I thought someone started one but never actually made it work in any fashion. If you do open source software, JetBrains will give you a free 1-year license. Yeah, but like if I don't get that at some point, that's going to suck. Or they just change the product in some way that I don't like. You know, I don't want these things. And I did try one JetBrains one for a while, but I found it made my repetitive strain injury, my hands, much worse. Because I think a large part of it was because I didn't know how to use it very well, but I just found the interactions it took a lot more using the mouse and keyboard to do things. The things it could do were very impressive, especially with like giving information, but it was more physically stressful to use than NeoVim or VS Code. JetBrains is nice if you have 1 terabyte of RAM. Is that true? If it's resource hungry, that's another reason why it'd be bad for me, because I'm on a. It sounds weird to say, but like I've got 16 gigs of RAM, and that's not a tremendous amount. I find that really annoying because I'm not fundamentally doing anything that I didn't do in the past, but you know, software just continuously erases the advancements of the hardware industry. I remember way back, years back, I tried, gosh, when was this? 7-8 years ago. I tried IntelliJ, I think it was, and I was amazed that when I was typing, I could feel there'd be a lag between me pressing the character and it appearing on the screen. I found it really uncomfortable. I'm sure they fixed that now, but it was just those sort of things that put me off it originally. Memory's the silliest thing to save. If I can spend 2 gigs of RAM to make something a bit faster, I'll do it in a heartbeat. Yes, but if every program is doing that, then your computer doesn't work anymore. You know, if you're thrashing swap because you've got chat apps that historically would use 200 megs of RAM and now using 2 gigs of RAM, everything becomes a huge problem. And I think it's even worse if you think that most people are using computers that have 4. I think developers should use low power, spend a portion of their time using low power machines just so they know what it's like to be their users. It's amazing how much software, when you're not using a nice fast developer, last few years top spec machine, it just all falls apart. It's awful. I'm constantly annoyed that chat apps use gigs of memory. Like, what on earth are you doing? You're a program that displays text. What are you doing? RAM is easy to scale up to, even hundreds of gigs if needed. What are you on about? How on earth am I going to scale? Like, okay, I've got a laptop over there. It has 8 gigs of RAM. How on earth am I going to scale that up to hundreds of gigs? How if you're talking about just servers and also you are rich, yeah, sure. But, most software runs in places where people have computers and there's nothing they can do to change it really. Or they've got, or they don't have all the money to throw on cloud infrastructure. And the other thing is that, using more memory probably means that your app's less efficient for a whole variety of reasons. Like you're going to blow through caches quicker, so you're going to have to do more work reading from memory. you know, if you're being sloppy with memory, it probably means you're doing things that are inefficient. Like, you know, an efficient program is probably faster if it uses, you know, a program that's faster probably uses less memory as well. And then most people do computing on portable computers like the mobile phones. And so great, now you're trashing not only memory but and not only CPU but also battery. Sucks. You know, you should try and make software fast. It makes me really sad. It's satisfying as well. Why do you want fast software? Software's great. So how am I going to do this? Why would something trivial like an IDE use that amount of memory? Well, I mean, I don't think an IDE is trivial. I think IDEs are very complicated. What do you think of immutable languages copying so much memory over and over? Immutable languages don't copy memory over and over. That's the point. Mutable languages copy memory over and over. Immutable languages do not. The thing they suffer from is memory fragmentation. That's the area in which mutable languages do better. There's often a memory versus CPU trade-off. I'm not arguing that everyone is, you know, everyone's optimizing for CPU and as such being wasteful with the memory. I'm saying these days people would optimize for neither. I think people just write inefficient software. And because they don't have to, like, it's really hard to know how much it's really hard to know how much resources your computer is using unless you do measuring, which is really complicated and difficult. Or if you just use a weak computer and you go, wow, this is slow. This is awkward. And then you fix it. And now because we've all got really powerful computers and we just assume our users have really powerful computers, all of us, including me, just ship things that are frankly rubbish without realizing. Which is a real shame, you know. So I think it's really good to spend time on low power machines. It's really good to use different dev environments. It's really good to try different editors. It's really good to try different operating systems because then you understand more about your software. The sad reality of modern software is the focus is optimizing for profit governing, not for performance. Yes, and I would have said not just for performance, but also just for like making a quality product in general. And I think performance is a big part of that. You know, if we didn't have to worry about Discord didn't have to worry about making money, they would they would make their software run better on more computers. And they wouldn't spend all this time trying to get you to buy Nitro, you know, like a huge amounts of developer time at Discord are being spent on, trying to make you want to buy Nitro, which is understandable because that's how they make their money. But that incentive doesn't align with what's best for the user. But that's just the nature of software, right? You know, that's the nature of non-open source software. That sucks. Not that open source software necessarily has a good incentive, but I think it's more likely to align. Old man shouts at cloud. I'm just so grumpy when it comes to software. Right, I'm going to fix this. I've been staring at this bit of code for ages. I should actually do something about it. So what if I didn't return old man shouts at AWS cloud? Yes, I mean they are really to blame for a lot of things as well. Server code is so wasteful now because people are like, oh, you can just buy more RAM. Just fix the bug. Just fix the performance bug and don't give them thousands of pounds every month. Just don't do it. Just don't give them all the money. Don't cause the electro waste. Just fix the bug. Just fix your bug. Gosh, it's awful. A system that encourages you to use as much, waste as much as possible. It just drives me mad. I'm so old. I'm so grumpy. Good. Okay, so I need to count. Let's call this limit. And let's add a new one called count And we say if the limit is equal to count, so we start with the limit, and then we're going to say 1. And then this should be adding because we're going up, not down these days. Pop. And then now we can repeat the string backtick by the counts. I'm missing a... Oh, and I haven't returned the input. Oh. Count. There we go. What's the variable that doesn't get used? Oh, C. C. Content doesn't exist. Passcode. If it's an empty thing, we just return. Oh, okay, yeah. Oh. Like that? Is that going to work? Yay! Fantastic. Fantastique. I think that's a good time to take a quick break. I'll be back in... Oh, I've got my little timer. Let's try and find my timer do. Time. Thank you, Isaac. Back soon, having a 2-minute break. Right. YouTube. Boom. Okay, and now... See you in 2 minutes, folks. Start that. Hello everyone, I'm on a health food flex, so I've got more iron brew and very Gleam themed French fancy. Ooh, that has an outline around it. That's interesting. Is there an outline? How does that happen? Is the timer written in Gleam? Is the timer written in Gleam? Yes, the timer's written in Gleam. Isn't it so cool? Here it is. That's our all Gleam timer thing. It's cool, eh? I like that it's doing a bunch of like it's even got mutable state. It's using JavaScript. It's using interacting with the DOM. It's nice. I really like it. I've got a production deployment. See you in some time if everything goes as expected. Good luck. Break a leg. Have fun. I'm gonna have more caffeine. It's gonna be great. Hi, I missed the beginning. djot I used a lot with Lua. It's the best version of Markdown. Awesome. I'm glad you think so. I've not used it huge amounts myself because we didn't have a parser for it. That's why I'm making it. But I think it looks great. So I'm glad you think it's good. It's always nice to hear a bit of endorsement for any technology you're looking to use. Oh, man. I've only got. What's the point of saving that much? Let's have a bit more, eh? Oh yeah, decadent. I really want to go outside and I don't know, sit in the park, but I should do work really. Being self-employed is a bit. Got to focus on things. So yeah, the stream tech is all made in Gleam. It's very cool. I'd like to make a. Yeah, I need to work out how to add it as a scene rather than just be in my browser. I haven't worked out how to do that yet though. Gosh, that is a lot of additives. Speaking of which, did I put my timer on to say that I was? No, I didn't because my OBS crashed my computer. Oh, so annoying. Anyway, let's go back here. So what have we done? Let's put in the README code blocks, line code. That looks pretty sensible to me so far. So let's include that one. New test cases, yep. Oh, should we try and copy the last ones in and see if it does what we expect it to do? Oh no, oh no, what? It returns an empty string? What? Oh no, something's gone horribly wrong. Okay, so let's commit what we've got. Let's commit what we've got. And then we can figure out how to fix that one. Good. Inline code. I know I don't want to pull, I want to push. And let's grab these because they look simpler to me. I think they might already work. But they don't. No, sad. Oh, interesting. So this is a new case. So here we've got, so I'm passing this as open and close, but really I need to look ahead and make sure that there isn't any additional backticks, because if any additional backticks, it doesn't count. Okay, I can do that. I think I can do that. Let's find out. So, and that would be when we're passing the end of the code. I've been using Gleam for a bit now, but the lack of features in the language server makes it too unpleasant to work with. How do you live without find references, also language server rename, etc.? I just don't use those things. We will have them. I think it's one of these things where, like, if you're a person who has come to depend very heavily on the computer doing those things, then it is really jarring. It's unpleasant, as you say, to not have them. But if you're a programmer who doesn't heavily depend upon those things, you just don't care, because, like, it's not it's lovely to be able to do those things, but it's not the only way to do it. We will get them. We will get them. There's no secret solution other than just, like, get used to the other styles of editing code, which, you know, is a rubbish solution, really. What we really want is just to be able to do it, which we will be able to do soon. Specifically, renaming references involve making a call graph for the whole program. We don't fully have that yet, but we've got a good chunk of that. There's nothing super challenging about that one, which is quite nice. So, do I need to add a dependency to read from standard in Gleam? You need a dependency to do anything in Gleam. I mean, you don't. I mean, you need a dependency to print in Gleam. The standard library, the standard library is a dependency. The prelude doesn't do anything. There's not a single function in the prelude. The only thing you can do is the only thing you can do with no dependencies in Gleam is construct lists, pattern matching lists, and basic maths on ints and floats, and create and get things out of tuples. I think that's it. So yeah, you're gonna need a package for anything. So you can't do it with the standard library, because that can run in environments where there's no such thing as standard input, like a browser, for example. So we're not done. String.repeat. Backtick with the limit. Oh, that looks awful. That looks rubbish. I don't like that. Oh, thank you for the following, Rowan. If there's another backtick, it means that this is not the close of the code block. No, code, the inline code elements. Even if they're, yeah. Okay, so now this fails for a different oh. I thought this, oh, okay, well I thought I got this working. I've gotten off by 1 here, right? So, do I? Let's find out. It's very annoying when auto-completion doesn't work. So, so we start with 1. Hey, how does this work? Okay, what's my bug? So let's do a little more printing. It'd be nice if we had some sort of tracing thing, wouldn't it? So we start the test and we've got this space tick tick A. Okay, so then we consume the space, then we see tick tick A. And we consume the tick, and then we move into let's make some more tests. Okay. So where is it? Here we go. Tick tick A. What's the problem here? So tick limits 1. Start consuming. I hate these off by 1 things. They're so irritating. If limit is... No, this should be the limit here. Okay, so if limit is equal to count plus 1. Oh, you can't do that in this context. That's so annoying. Can I do that here? No, rubbish. Rubbish. Like that. Now I'm consuming, now I've lost a tick. What's the difference here? Oh, really? Is that really what it's meant to be? Why are there extra spaces? Hmm. Oh, well, it does say that. Huh, was that always the case? Oh, okay. I'm just not understanding the spec now. Okay, so let's go look. Let's look at this thing again. So, if I have a tick, tick tick, that is some text. Let's put an A in the middle of it. That works sense. Then put tick tick. A. Why does this space not count for anything? What's the rule here? If there's 2 spaces, it shows up. If there's only 1, it doesn't? Does it do it at the end as well? It does. What am I missing here, folks? This is why I'm confused. Okay, so I don't understand what the... this context starts or ends with a backtick tag. A single space is removed between opening and closing backticks. Oh gosh. Because otherwise you wouldn't be able to have a backtick that is at the very beginning or end of the code block. Oh, that's so annoying. Boo. Boo, boo, boo. The second thing doesn't close because it's a double tick, only single tick closes. That's not true. That's not true. Look. Do you hear? Begins with a single consecutive backtick character. Sorry, begins with a string of consecutive backtick characters and ends with an equal length string of consecutive backtick characters. I didn't realise that until today. Yeah. Assumptions. I shouldn't have assumptions. I should read the thing and not assume that I know what I'm doing. That's the correct way to do it. But I'm a programmer, so I don't do that. I just sort of dive in. Hope for the best. Yes. Oh, yes, exactly. So it doesn't close, but the problem was not that. The problem is that this single character string has been trimmed, which is quite interesting. So let's do that. So to do that, I need to, let's get rid of that. To do that, I need to, when I'm passing the code content, I need to strip the first character. No, that's not true. It's only if it starts with oh no, it's not even that, is it? Okay. It's but it could just be of just that. That's so annoying. Okay, so I can't do it here because if I match directly on there being a backtick, this might just be the close, in which case we want to preserve this. Okay. Let's do the first one first. So the first one is, let's split this into 2 tests. 3 tests. And then another test. I think those are correct. Let's verify that in the little doohickey thing here. What? Oh, because I copied the wrong. I copied the expected output and then I pasted it in without looking at it and got confused. So that is what I think that should be. Let's do it as HTML, slightly easier to read. Good, I think that's what I think it should be. And then if I have 2 ticks and then a space and a tick, that also does what I think it should do. Whew. Fiddly. I'm not sure how I'm going to do the end. I'm going to have to keep track of the last few characters. I don't particularly want to do that. I think. Is that true? Yeah. So, when I am passing the content, I want to okay. It's even more annoying because I'm deliberately trying to only append to the buffer. I'm trying not to append to it and then pop off of it, because then the Erlang append optimization for immutable buffers doesn't get applied. You know, I want this to be fast. Although it's kind of silly. These are tiny. These are like inline strings. These are absolutely minute. Do I care that much? Maybe I don't. Maybe I should just pop off the last character. That's probably the best way to do it. It'll only ever happen in code blocks, so it's not going to be that big a performance problem. I'm so glad I'm doing this and not markdown. Like, this is already annoying, like how difficult it is. But markdown is just so much worse. So much worse. Okay, so yeah, let's just do it in the final content. Parsing content. Where do we just return it? This is the, oh, here we go. Here are the two cases in which we're done. Where does this get used? Here. Oh, well, I can just return it here. Okay. Parsing content. Let's say this returns not an inline, but a string. And then here we have the content and then input. And we can say content is equal to string. We can only pattern match on the front of a string, which is going to be annoying. But we can say if it starts with space, and then backtick. I'm going to say we just want to return the just it with a backtick. And then we want to do the same thing for the end of the string. That's annoying. How do you do that at the end? Case string dot ends with backtick and then a space. Then we want to do string dot trim right. Is that a function? Didn't actually say what string it was. Conente. This variable is never used. Which one is never used? Type mismatch. And then we gotta return code content. Yeah, I should stop. I don't need to optimize things quite so much. How silly of me. Hey! Very good. Yeah, optimization bad. Didn't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Oh no! Why does it think it's an empty string? Why does it think that? That's so silly. Oh dear. Bugs. More bugs. So let's add a comment. Let's do the same. Let's write the same way both times. It's just a bit nicer, isn't it? How did you learn Gleam? Uh, uh, I don't know. That's a really confusing question. I invented Gleam, so how did I learn it? Oh, I don't know. How does one answer that question? I don't know. I guess I've learned lots of other languages that are similar, and so I've sort of had them in mind when I designed it. That's a really interesting. How does one learn something as you make it? I guess just practice. What is Gleam? Gleam is a functional programming language that runs on the Erlang virtual machine, which is a really amazing virtual machine. And it's type safe. It is easy to learn. It's quite small and concise, and I think fun to use. And it has a sort of similar vibe to, I think maybe Go or Erlang a little bit, or those sort of things. And yeah, it's good. I'd recommend it. Truth, I've never learned Gleam. That's true, I've never learned Gleam. Gleam's really good. Go to gleam.run and check it out. It looks like this. It's really good. It's really, really, really good. So what on earth is going on with this test, eh? Yeah, what on earth is happening here? Is there a smaller test? It's monstrous. Oh, I didn't save. I never save. Expected. I get. Okay, what happens if I just like start removing things from the end? So this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, 5. And this is also 5. So this whole thing is meant to be inside one code block. Gosh, that's confusing. What happens if I do it with 4? When is it started as being empty? What? What's going on? Hey. Hello. What? What's going on? Wait, have I made a... Let's try that again. Oh, I've accidentally sliced off the top of this test. That'd be why it doesn't work. Okay. There we go. That makes so much more sense now. Blimey, that was confusing. That was really confusing. Phew, I was worried something was really wrong then. So, but it's failing now because we shouldn't pass... If there's a backtick in the language name, we shouldn't pass it as a language. In fact, let's look at the language description again. And it will say something about inline code blocks, block quote, code block. I'm hoping it would tell me what characters are permitted to be in the name of the language. What is a language specifier? What is a language specifier? Come on. Specify... It doesn't say. It doesn't say what a language specifier is. That's annoying. So I guess let's just say if it's a backtick, it's not a language specifier. Nope. Nope. Pass code block. Okay. Post code block start. Okay, sounds good to me. Oh, it was there. I'm glad I used go to definition for that. It really helped. So I'm saying I'm saying let's make pass code block language instead of returning just the name. Let's make it return the whole thing. So where is that function? Or maybe not. Okay. Let's use it, because this is going to conditionally return it now. We don't need to try, we can just use map. So good, that shouldn't change anything. But let's add a case in that you find a backtick. A language specifier cannot contain a backtick. Boom. Yay! Wait. I did actually include that test, right? Is that the same test? Yes. Nice. So in fact, I can just delete this whole file now because I've done everything in it. Boom. That was exciting. We've done it. That's the whole feature. Fantastic. So let's commit that. Last bit of inline code. How do I highlight my language called tick tick now? Yep, I don't know. That's the problem with djot, eh? Big djot getting you down. Does that do the changelog as well? And the 30th. I'm going to publish this, but I'm going to publish this in a different terminal, so you folks can't see. I'm terrified of accidentally pasting my hex password in here. That would be bad. That would be really bad. Wait, should we just check that the CI is passing first? Hot. It's not good hot, it's good djot. Nice. Nice. So, yes, I want to publish. Do I want to publish it? Yes. Oh, it says invalid password. What did I do? I must have just copied something by mistake. Hicks. Yes, that's my username. That's my password. Awesome. And then I can tag it. Boom. And then I can make a new release thingy. Nice. Recently updated djot. There you go. How many of these are Gleam? 1. 2. Got 2. How many brand new packages? Hey, 1. 2. Nice. Not bad. A solid 20%. Awesome. There it is. Just updated just now. Cool. I'm pretty happy with that. What other things do you think we need for like this to be like properly usable? I mean, I think this is the majority of things now, right? Maybe tables. Tables sound really annoying. Block quotes. Block quotes would be really good. Yeah. Oh, lists. Okay, there's quite a lot of things missing. Okay. Yeah, quite a few things. Good. Well, on that note, should we raid someone? Oh wow, there's loads of people online now. Who should we go for? Programming hussy build startup. What language is this? This is Clojure. Let's do it. What's their username? Janet A. Carr.
What would be the new cool shit you're totally
No, thanks for coming hanging out, folks. I'll see you very, very soon, I'm sure.
Still, I'm going to tinker the new thing just to feel something.
We ready? Bye, YouTube. Bye, YouTube. Bye.
Well,